Just when the world thought they knew everything about the night King Von lost his life, Wallo267 stepped forward with a revelation that's sending shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community. In a clip that's been making its way across every major blog, Wallo didn't just mourn Von. He exposed a truth way darker than anyone expected. Eyes locked on the camera, voice shaking, Wallo said, "Y'all think Von died in the streets, but what killed him started way before that night." The silence in the room was heavy, and what followed was a bombshell that no one was ready for. Wallo hinted at a trail of betrayal, manipulation, and industry power plays. People who profited off Von's pain and moved on like nothing happened. This ain't just about bullets. This was spiritual warfare. And some of y'all favorite names? They was involved. Fans are shocked. The streets are talking. And even Lil Durk's camp has been suspiciously quiet since. Because what if King Von's death wasn't the end of the story, but the start of something much more sinister? Strap in. This is the part they never wanted you to hear. The world stopped when the news broke. King Von, one of the most explosive and talented voices in the drill scene, was gone. Taken in a flash of violence outside an Atlanta nightclub. Fans cried, the internet mourned, and tributes poured in from across the culture. For most people, that night marked the end of Von's story. But according to Wallo267, it was just the beginning. Weeks after the 2-year anniversary of Von's death, Wallo appeared on a lesser-known podcast. Nothing fancy, no major sponsor, just an intimate, dim-lit setup where he was invited to talk about youth, prison reform, and the state of hip-hop. But things took a sharp turn when the host casually brought up Von's legacy. At first, Wallo did what most people do when Von's name is mentioned. He nodded, got quiet, and said, "That one hit different." But then, something shifted in his tone. His eyes narrowed. His hands clenched. And then he dropped a sentence that shook the table. "Von didn't just die from the streets," he said. "He died from what the industry turned him into." The host blinked. "What you mean by that?" Wallo leaned forward, lowered his voice, and said, "The man wanted out." But by the time he realized that, it was already too late. He wasn't just being watched, he was being used. That was the moment everything changed. Fans clipped that segment and uploaded it everywhere. The blogs were on fire. Suddenly, everyone was asking, what does Wallo know that we don't? At first, people thought he was speaking metaphorically. Like, the game kills your spirit, right? But then more clips from the podcast started surfacing, and they revealed so much more. In one clip, Wallo said, there were people around Von who weren't really his people. Some of them were handlers. Some of them were industry middlemen. Y'all don't even realize how many of these young rappers got people placed around them like chess pieces, just to keep them profitable. He didn't name names. But the internet didn't need much to go into full-blown investigation mode. Fans started pulling old videos of Von backstage at shows, in meetings, in studio sessions, analyzing who was always in the room, who was whispering in his ear, who was around him during his final days. And one name kept popping up, Reek, a low-key manager/assistant figure that most fans didn't even know by face. But if you look close, he was always there. In fact, in the final vlog footage Von posted before his death, Reek is the one handling all the calls, setting up the after-party, and pushing the meetup that ultimately led Von to that fateful location in Atlanta. Coincidence? Maybe. But then Wallo said this. Y'all think these situations are random. But some of these deaths, they've been negotiated before the trigger even gets pulled. Fans were stunned. Was Wallo suggesting Von's death was planned? Some said he was exaggerating. But others? They started connecting dots that had been in plain sight all along. Why was Von set up to run into Quando Rondo that night? Why did Von, who was known for moving carefully, walk straight into a public fight with no security buffer? And why did the footage that was released cut out the audio? One Reddit thread with over 10,000 upvotes posted a timeline that made one chilling point. Von's team knew Quando was nearby 20 minutes before Von approached. So why didn't they stop him? Then came a resurfaced interview clip from DJ Academics where Von's former security said, "I got pulled off the detail last minute. Wasn't my call." Fans were beginning to believe that Vaughn wasn't just caught in a beef. He was sacrificed for something bigger. And that's when Wallo's next podcast dropped, and things went from suspicious to sinister. This time, it was on $1 million worth of game, his main platform with Gilly the King. And instead of avoiding the heat, Wallo walked straight into the fire. He started the episode with a statement that left Gilly looking shook. "This ain't no industry gossip. This is personal. Because I sat with Vaughn, face to face, and I heard the truth with my own ears." He went on to describe a conversation he allegedly had with Vaughn just 2 weeks before the shooting. A private meeting in Atlanta, no cameras, no entourage. According to Wallo, Vaughn came in frustrated, agitated, but more than anything, he was scared. He told me, "OG, I feel like I can't get out. Every time I try to pivot, they pull me back. I don't know if I'm in control anymore." Gilly sat quiet as Wallo went deeper. He told me there were contracts he didn't understand, that his masters were tied up, that his image was being used in ways he didn't approve of. And when he tried to push back, people got real distant, real cold. And then Wallo said the most shocking thing yet. Vaughn looked me in my eyes and said, "I don't think I'm gonna make it out the year." Fans were heartbroken. If Vaughn really said that, what did he know? And even worse, who knew it too? After that episode, all eyes turned to Vaughn's inner circle. People began questioning everyone, from producers to label reps to close friends. A few of them locked their socials. Some even deleted old posts. And in the middle of the storm, Lil Durk went silent. No tweets, no stories, no reactions, which only made people more suspicious. Because right before Vaughn died, he and Durk were on a high. Their track All These N***S had dropped, OTF was buzzing, and there were rumors of a joint album. So why, just weeks after Vaughn's death, did Durk seem to emotionally disconnect? Some claimed it was grief. Others whispered that he knew more than he let on. And then, a leaked DM thread hit the blogs. Allegedly between one of Vaughn's childhood friends and an unnamed blogger, the messages claimed that Vaughn had been planning to separate from OTF quietly, not out of beef, but to start his own label under a different partnership. One message read, "He wasn't trying to beef. He just wanted full control. He was tired of sharing the profits and getting played behind closed doors." If that's true, was his decision the final trigger? Wallo didn't say, but he posted a cryptic tweet shortly after the leak. "Power don't protect you in this game. It makes you a target." Fans went wild. Theories swirled. TikTok detectives were back in full force. But behind all the noise, one voice came forward that changed everything. Vaughn's mother. Mama Vaughn did a rare Facebook Live, eyes tired, voice heavy. She didn't say much, but what she did say confirmed what Wallo had hinted all along. My baby wasn't scared of no street stuff. He wasn't paranoid because of enemies. He was scared of what was happening behind the scenes, with people he thought had his back. And then she said, "Wallo ain't lying." That one line sent the internet into meltdown. It wasn't just fans watching anymore, even other rappers began commenting. G Herbo posted a tweet. "Too much truth flying around. Some of y'all better start praying." Boozy Badass chimed in during a live. "Y'all thought it was beef that killed Vaughn. Nah, that man was boxed in. His loyalty got him touched." The walls were closing in. And just when you thought the story couldn't get any more explosive, Wallo announced that he would be releasing Vaughn's last handwritten note, a letter he says Vaughn gave him the night of their private meeting. The internet didn't even have time to recover before Wallo267 sent shockwaves again, this time with a promise that made fans stop scrolling. "I still got the letter Vaughn gave me. He told me, if something happens, make sure they see this." That one post, just 14 words, was all it took to reignite the fire. Blogs picked it up within minutes. Fan pages were begging Wallo to release it. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everyone was now waiting on one thing, the last words of King Vaughn. And finally, 3 days later, On a late-night livestream that drew over 1.4 million views, Wallo opened the notebook. No dramatic lighting. No dramatic music. Just him, sitting in a quiet studio, Gilly the King off camera, barely speaking. Wallo took a deep breath and began to read. I never wanted to be no legend. I just wanted my family to eat. They keep saying I'm next, like I already died. If I don't make it, don't let them say I went out as no savage. That ain't the full story. Then he paused, shook his head, and looked directly into the camera. Y'all painted this man one way, but he was more than that. He knew what was coming, and he still didn't run. Wallo flipped the page. They try to control you with loyalty, make you think you owe them forever. But some of the same people that say, I got you, be the ones setting up the fall. The live stream chat exploded. Wait, is he saying he was set up? This letter is crazy. This ain't the Vaughn the industry wanted y'all to know. By the time Wallo finished reading, over 50,000 people were spamming the hashtag Vaughn told us across social platforms. But the most controversial part? The final sentence of the letter. Tell Dirk I forgive him, even if he never says sorry. Mic drop. Fans couldn't believe it. The calmness. The clarity. Vaughn had clearly been planning for something, or bracing for it. But that final line about Lil Durk? That's when the culture split in two. Because until that moment, Dirk had managed to mostly avoid the storm. He paid tribute to Vaughn with tattoos, in songs, and kept his distance from the rumors. But this letter? It put his name in the spotlight in a whole new way. And fans started asking questions he hadn't answered in 2 years. Why didn't Dirk attend Vaughn's funeral? Why did he suddenly shift his energy in interviews after Vaughn's passing? Why was there tension between their teams right before Vaughn's death? Old tweets and comments resurfaced. A screenshot of a now-deleted post from one of Vaughn's former affiliates read, "Funny how folks only loyal till loyalty get expensive." The implication? Vaughn might have been planning to separate from OTF, not out of hate, but for independence. And some people weren't having it. But then came the real twist. A man named Michi, an alleged former OTF insider, dropped a 3-part Instagram video series titled, What Really Happened to Vaughn. Now, take this with a grain of salt. Michi wasn't verified. But what he said, too detailed to ignore. He claimed Vaughn had expressed wanting to start his own imprint under Empire Records. That he was growing frustrated with creative control and business transparency. He said Vaughn was told it wasn't the time, that branching out would confuse the brand and look like betrayal. But Vaughn didn't back down. According to Michi, Vaughn had plans to announce his own label the week after his Atlanta trip. The week, he never made it home. And Michi ended his video with a bombshell. Ask yourself this. Why did Vaughn pull up to the club that night when he wasn't even supposed to be in town? Somebody called him. Somebody made sure he was there. Again, no names. But fans ran with it. Old call logs. Security footage timestamps. GPS data pulled from Vaughn's Snapchat story. Fans began building timelines like detectives. And they discovered something that had everyone shook. Vaughn's location had been tagged minutes before the fight, from an unknown burner account. Was he tracked? Was he baited? At this point, even other rappers started weighing in. Tay600 tweeted, "All I'ma say is, some people benefited a little too much from Vaughn's death." Fredo Bang posted a photo of Vaughn with a caption, "They ain't protect you like they should've." And then, to everyone's surprise, Lil Durk broke his silence. No big announcement. No tweet. Just a single IG story showing a screenshot of Wallo's live stream, with Vaughn's letter open, and the caption, "He was more than y'all ever knew. R.I.P." But fans weren't satisfied. They wanted a real answer. They wanted to know, what did Dirk do before and after that night? What did he know? And why didn't he say anything when Wallo first dropped the story? Pressure mounted. Even YouTube and podcast creators who normally avoided drama started covering the story. And Wallo? He didn't back down. On a follow-up episode, He stared dead into the camera and said, "I'm not afraid of nobody. Not a label. Not a street dude. Not a fan base. If I know something that can save a young life, I'm gonna say it. Y'all mad 'cause I broke the silence? Maybe you should ask why it was quiet in the first place." Fans applauded him for the boldness. But behind the scenes, there were rumblings. Multiple outlets reported that Wallo received legal threats from industry-connected entities, warning him to stop releasing information. He never said who sent them. But in response, he tweeted, "You can't scare a man who already survived prison and poverty. Try again." Things were getting dangerous. Meanwhile, Vaughn's mom continued speaking out, gently but consistently. She confirmed Wallo's letter was real. She confirmed Vaughn had planned to create a label called Only the Chosen. She confirmed that Vaughn had concerns about his contracts and team. But then she said something that chilled fans to the bone. "He told me, Mama, if anything ever happened to me, look into it. Don't trust no one right away." And that's when the family revealed something nobody expected. They were working on a private investigation. They had retained a legal team. They had requested phone records, contracts, and financials tied to Vaughn's last year alive. And they were planning to go public. A new video surfaced, allegedly from one of Vaughn's last studio sessions, where he's on camera saying, "It's too many fake smiles around me. I ain't even sure who my brother is no more." Fans zoomed in. In the corner of the room, a blurred figure, one that some claim looks like a well-known industry executive. The footage was grainy, shaky, but what fans saw in the corner of that recording room nearly caused a riot on social media. In the last known studio session before Vaughn's death, a figure stands off to the side, arms crossed, barely moving. His face is hard to see, but to certain fans, it looked familiar. Too familiar. Rumors started flying. Some were convinced it was a well-known executive connected to Vaughn's distribution deal. Others said it was a label rep who'd once been accused of controlling artist movement behind the scenes. Either way, the clip raised a new wave of disturbing questions. Why was Vaughn so paranoid in his final days? Who was really watching him? And how far were people willing to go to silence him? The theories weren't just TikTok deep dives anymore. They were being taken seriously. A handful of verified journalists began poking around the story. Wallo's podcast numbers skyrocketed. Vaughn's old tracks started trending again. Even mainstream outlets like Complex, XXL, and No Jumper started covering Wallo's revelations. But while the internet tried to piece together the truth, Vaughn's family moved quietly. Strategically. Legally. One of the attorneys representing the family dropped a carefully worded statement. There are ongoing efforts to review all available documentation, digital communication, and contract terms surrounding Mr. Davon Bennett's final months. We are pursuing full transparency. Translation? They were building a case. And according to insiders, the findings weren't just surprising. They were disturbing. Vaughn's estate allegedly discovered unexplained contractual amendments made after Vaughn's death. A major percentage of Vaughn's masters signed away under unusual terms. A pending life insurance policy triggered by a non-natural death clause, filed days before the shooting. That last point had fans screaming set up in all caps. And just when you thought the heat couldn't get any hotter, Wallo267 was served with a cease and desist. He posted a blurred-out legal letter to his Instagram with the caption, "You can sue me, threaten me, blacklist me, I ain't shutting up." The document reportedly demanded he stop speaking publicly about Vaughn's contracts, the letter, and internal OTF matters. Though the sender was never confirmed, fans had their suspicions. Then, in one of the boldest moves yet, Wallo fired back by announcing that he had teamed up with Vaughn's family to co-produce a docuseries titled Truth Behind the Chains, The Davon Bennett Files. Set to premiere on a major streaming platform, rumored to be Amazon Prime or Netflix, the series would include Vaughn's final notebook entries, private interviews with his family and legal team, exclusive security footage and unreleased voicemails, and most shocking of all, Wallo's full sit-down with Lil Durk, never before aired. Yes, you heard that right. Wallo, Dirk. One-on-one. Cameras rolling. Nobody could believe it. The same Wallo who hinted Dirk might have known more than he let on, now sharing a couch with him? But Wallo confirmed it. In a teaser trailer posted to YouTube, Dirk appears on screen for a split second, quietly saying, "People think I'm the villain. They ain't see the full picture." And then, black screen. Trailer ends. The comment section exploded. Dirk about to spill. Wallo got him talking, finally flushed face, Vaughn's ghost shaking up the whole industry. But what could this conversation even mean? Was Dirk clearing his name? Was he finally addressing why Vaughn's death felt surrounded by silence? One anonymous crew member from the documentary shoot leaked this chilling quote from Dirk's interview. "There were people around us pretending to be family, but they were on payrolls we never signed." Even that small line hinted at industry infiltration, fake loyalty, and players in the background pulling strings. It wasn't about one shooter, one fight, one moment. It was about a system designed to exploit, extract, and dispose of talent once it stops being profitable. And Vaughn? He was trying to break free. Wallo's final words in the trailer cut deep. "This ain't about Vaughn no more. It's about every artist trapped in a system that calls it loyalty, but moves like slavery." The premiere date? 2 weeks out. The streets? On edge. And then, as the final storm hit, Mama Vaughn posted her final public statement before the series dropped. Sitting in front of a mural of her son, eyes tired but fierce, she said, "I don't want revenge. I don't want clout. I just want the truth. I want people to know my son wasn't just a rapper. He was a man who wanted better. And they took him when he was ready to grow." She paused, then added, "And if you still think this is about music, you ain't been paying attention." So now that you've seen it all, we have to ask, was King Vaughn's death a tragedy, or the final move in a much darker game? What started as another night out turned into one of the most suspicious, heavily debated, and now legally challenged deaths in modern hip-hop. Wallo267 says the industry fed on Vaughn's pain, and then tried to erase the part of him that wanted change. Mama Vaughn says her son saw the truth coming. Dirk? He says we only know half the story. And Vaughn himself, through the letter, the voice notes, the leaked session clips, may have left behind a roadmap, a warning for the next generation. The question now is, are we ready to face it? Because one thing's for sure, this wasn't the end. This was only the beginning of something bigger. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Wallo? Do you think Vaughn was being set up to break away? Was Lil Durk caught in the crossfire? Or was he holding secrets all along? Hit that like button if you feel for Vaughn and his family. Smash subscribe if you want to stay locked into this story as it unfolds. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, because the full docuseries is coming, and when it drops, everything might change. This ain't just rap drama anymore. This is legacy, truth, and the cost of silence. Until next time, stay sharp, stay real, and don't let the industry rewrite the story. Because we owe it to Vaughn, and everyone like him, to hear the truth all the way through.